Non-domestic heating efficiency. Let's face it, it's not the most exciting issue there is. Environment Minister Nick Smith even described heating solutions as not sexy. But the truth is we should all be worried because much like the minister, non-domestic heating isn't sexy, it's scary, and it causes a host of dangerous symptoms. Start with cost. Over 90% of New Zealand's commercial buildings use 40% of their costs on heating, and the average commercial building loses $80,000 to $100,000 every year from heat inefficiencies. But there's also an environmental cost. The average city has up to 19% of its CO2 emissions caused by office building heating systems alone. Furthermore, heating inefficiencies often result in high heating costs, which can force organisations to use dirtier heat sources like coal. That's what happened to Christchurch Hospital in 2013. The coal boiler they installed emitted 16,000 tonnes of carbon dioxide over just 2 years. Not only is that bad for the environment, it's bad for your health. Smog levels in Christchurch caused 150 premature deaths last year alone. An unfortunate irony for a hospital. So what causes this energy inefficiency? We found many reasons, but the biggest is that energy used doesn't correlate with a building's occupancy. In other words, a room expends as much heat with 2 people as it would with 2,000. That's because our current heating standard, called HVAC, uses a blanket approach that pumps buildings full of heat regardless of the number of people in them. What if we could only heat areas that are actually occupied? That's where SunSpot comes in. SunSpot lines the ceiling with infrared, heat-emitting LEDs that only switch on when thermal imaging sensors detect someone beneath them. Instead of HVAC's blanket heating, our innovation is to localize heating to occupied spaces. If you measured energy consumption in watts per square meter, we estimate that SunSpot can decrease energy used at least 70%, since unoccupied square meters use up no energy. Think of it as having your own personal sun follow you around. You're probably wondering how much this costs, but that's where SunSpot really shines. Most commercial buildings use what are called false ceilings. These white panels you see in offices aren't actually the roof, just a bunch of easily removable panels that hide the real ceiling. Installing SunSpot is simply a matter of replacing these panels with panels embedded with LEDs. You don't even have to tear down the entire ceiling. By making firm infrastructure less costly, SunSpot will add value to any business that uses large, infrequently occupied rooms, such as corporate lobbies, supermarkets, and hospital wards. And in the long term, burning less energy means fewer emissions and a smaller impact on our health. We can't speak for everyone, but that's both sexy and smart.
Created using Powtoon.